Welcome to Intuitive Clarifications with Natasha. And thank you. Hi, everybody. Paula and Veronica. Thank you for everybody being here already. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, but yeah, it's been windy here and had to run to the chiropractor. And, my hair has kind of been all over the place. So I was trying to get myself all together after going to the chiropractor. So, it's one of those things that we all kind of have to take care of ourselves. So here I am to talk about how do we get on the better frequency of this world. And it's been amazing how things have been happening all over the place, and it's like it's been interesting to see how, like, the first couple since the beginning of the year when we had, the new presidency, and then, have that ripple effect is coming away. And then, I want to make a moment here, take a moment here to take a pause and say, I'm putting my prayers out there for everyone who's going through some weather changes right now. There's the floods back, east where, a lot of the hurricane hit. And now there's the floods again. Boy, isn't that an interesting dynamic that's happening again? And then, we have, isn't it funny how California doesn't get any rain? They have the fires, and then all of a sudden the funnel of rain comes right where the fires were. That happened before. Isn't that interesting? Now, I understand that Mother Earth has her dance. I understand that process of that. I'm just throwing it out there as a question. I'm not a conspiracist. I'm just throwing the question out there. So with that, we have to be careful what algorithm we get into. And that's one thing that I was like somewhere. I think I was actually getting out of bed, and all of a sudden I got this download. What algorithm are you in? Well, we do social media, we do all these different things. And, we have that algorithm where things come to us, right? The codes and all that different things kind of come to us. And it's because of, what we've been watching, what we've been doing, what we've been negotiating. Well, isn't that like about life? And we're in this moment where we will pull what we want towards us. And, we have life. Like I was watching one of my videos, and watching one of the videos, and it was about the guy walking down where the floods were. And, I have a representation where I always look at things. What is this about? What is the spiritual meaning behind this? What is that story behind that? Well, you think about like a flood, and how much maybe that region is dealing with anger and frustration and those emotions that are going through. And I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying that this might be kind of the ripple effect of the meaning of things. And so that flood, is washing away all those emotions and all those stories, but then it's causing more emotions, right? Which, that's why I'm sending my love there and my prayers there, that things get better. And so going into this, that how does the realities around us show us who we are and what we're doing? And that's the thing about these algorithms, right? Is like, what are we pulling towards us that is unconscious, unknowing, all those different things. And when we're in our stories, when we're in this dance of life, that it's amazing how can we walk the path of things opening up for us. Now, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire, I'm not anything, but I'm just human here. I am walking the path of what do I want to pull towards me. I also understand that I've had miracles happen in my life, and they may be small. Let's say getting in an argument with somebody, and then within an hour, there's a phone call, there's a conversation that's healing it. I call those miracles. Or let's say that, I'm asking for something to happen, and then I get a text or an email that says, hey, do you want to be on the almanac with us? And I listen to Janet Hickox in the morning, Mondays and Fridays, and she's an astrologer and stuff, and they do an almanac. I got asked to be on it. So now, what am I pulling to me? Well, I've struggled. My dyslexia has been kind of going kind of crazy lately, so wording is interesting, and things are happening, right? And so there's 12 months plus 3 that I'm writing for, and it's been a kind of a gift. But the thing is, so I have to proof it. Now, proofing is not always easy, because I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to proof read my stuff, because it's like, oh, yeah, I gotta fix that, don't I? And it's me persevering through that. So I'm trying to leave my phone in another part of the room. Thank you, Veronica. I'm trying to leave my phone in another part of the room so I don't grab onto it to sabotage myself. And that's the thing we got to be careful about. How are we sabotaging ourselves? How are we negotiating ourselves? And how are we balancing this story of ourselves? That is part of the algorithm. So what algorithm was I putting myself on the last couple days where I was struggling with proofing my own writing? Now, I'm doing a little bit of card reading, channeling, just messages. And so, like messages from Mikhail, messages from Mother Mary. Jesus went in and on one of the months. And one day I was pulling my oracle cards, and my cards lately have been pretty busy. If you've been watching this, they've been just flying out. Well, one time I was like, I'm going to pull one card, well, 6 pop out, and I have to have 200 or around 200 words. 6 cards with 200 words, yeah, good luck with that. Right? I went over, I'm going to ask them to give me grace once in a while, right? But how do you negotiate going through this? It's like, so that algorithm what I was on was that I can't concentrate, right? That's the algorithm I was on. I'm not able to concentrate. I wasted a lot of time actually not being able to concentrate. Now, there's no wasted time because I learned something from it. So I want to get that clear. There is no wasted time, but there was time that I could have managed a little better, a little differently. Well, I was not on the right algorithm for that. I was on the algorithm of distraction, right? I was on that algorithm of distraction. And so today I came home, put my phone on the counter so I wouldn't be able to do it. And then when I hit a paragraph that I struggled with, I got up and tried to grab my phone. I told myself to sit back down because I wanted to change my algorithm. So think about life, and this is what I do sometimes. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to do this, but think about how do we have our life in an algorithm that we don't really want? They could be an algorithm of the car always breaking down. It could always be an algorithm of always having arguments. It could be an algorithm of drama, trauma coming my way. It could be an algorithm of a lot of those different things that are happening, right? So, how can we get on a different algorithm? How can we? It's called being aware of where we're at and what we're doing, like me, right? Like me, I was observational about myself, and knowing that, oh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is an old story, and I can tell you, my body has in the past. I'm changing my language here. In the past, had the vibration of rashes, hives. Like I'd be having a conversation with somebody that would be an old story. Like I had to write an email to, I did a video on this, but I had to write an email um, to someone, and my back started breaking out. I could feel the ping, 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 ping of my skin. And, it's like, okay, that's an old story of abandonment. Where is abandonment coming in? Why is abandonment coming in? Well, yeah, me having to be alone on a certain part of my playground, I am alone, but that doesn't mean I'm abandoned. So, where does this abandonment issue come in? Well, I've been abandoned by friends. I didn't really have friends when I was growing up. I was abandoned by sometimes things not going my way. That I always kind of felt like I was sabotaged. in some way because, well, in a way it was me, but I would also say that it was a lot of lifetimes around me that sabotaged me, right? They knew I was very powerful. They knew how I could be, how bright I am as a healer in a way. I walk into a place and people go, what did you just do? And I go, I just walked in the room. And I'm saying that there's these opportunities that have shown me that I'm a healer. And so going into this, that there's these moments where things have happened and I have no responsibility for them. But at the same time, though, I get overlooked for some things in the past, I'm saying, that have hindered, sorry, my wrist wants to be popped here, that, those things. And so going into this, that's that underlining understory, that deep gut issue, because skin is gut health, right? Skin is gut health. So if you have something going on with your skin, puffiness here, bumps underneath your arms, me with my hives, I'm really looking at how is my gut digesting my life. And so going into this, think about how do these old stories need to slough off? And I went to the chiropractor saying, what was going on. And he knows me, that I'm very attuned to my body. He says, you know your body much more than hardly any of my other clients. And so he was saying that, it's like, what's going on with you. You know how to do this. You know it will come to you. But he did help me by, muscle testing and getting more of an idea. And it was my liver and my gallbladder and my pancreas. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make sure that I stay off the sugars because the pancreas doesn't like sugar. And going into this, that it's amazing when we can go forward in who we are. And so look at life and how is life trying to show you where you're sitting. And, my algorithm right now is body health. My algorithm right now is mental health. My algorithm that I'm in, and I want to put that algorithm as how can I heal? How can I negotiate this? How can I be at peace with what I've done? And I know for me, my cat is starting to jump up on things. Rocky, baby boy, quit focusing on something that you need to not focus on, please. So going into this, sorry about that. So going into this, how do you talk to yourself? Now, I know for me, instead of being all like, oh, my back is breaking out of hives and what I've done is I've gone in and I've really said, when I feel that first ping, 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 I go in and I say, I'm safe. I'm safe because I know that a lot of this old story is me working through it. And so I need to know that I'm safe. And at the same time, I've also gone in and helped my liver. So I go in and take my vitamins that are about liver health and about allergens, because that's an allergen system too. So, I'm trying to look at things with all sides of the coin. And I want to get on a healthy algorithm. I want my body to be in a healthy algorithm. So if you are negotiating something, now I'm going to go back to the guy walking down the street where the flood was. Well, he had a choice to either, honor the moment, honor the grief, honor sorry, honor the possibility of things happening and the damage and honoring that, being with that, but also to give that time of honoring it, giving it blessings, asking for healing on this, going into that, and then telling himself, I am done with that story. I am moving up. This is something that's going to go away. I'm asking for divine healing on this. Things are going to be better. Things are going to be happening because I'm not going to be getting into the trauma of that. That is a longevity thing, right? It's a longevity thing. And, yes, we have to deal with it. House burns down with fire. Those people in California and other places where there's been fires in the past. You have to deal with that. That is something that is totally in your mindset. That is totally something that is happening. That is totally in that world. But the thing is, though, how do you react to it? How do you apply yourself to it? How do you stay in victimhood of it? Now, there's the grief part of it, but that's not victim, right? And, you know, be careful of that balance. Now, there's two sides to every coin, and you have to give every emotion a benefit, and you have to deal with what life is giving you. The thing is, though, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is I'm safe and I'm asking for divine healing on this. Now, divine to me is not feminine or masculine. Divine healing is pure love, pure consciousness, pure understanding. And that pure understanding can be a benefit for us. So, going into this, how do you negotiate what's in front of you? Now, the other day, I think I talked about this on my last show, that I was driving down the freeway and there was like 5 wrecks on one side. And I really got the idea, how can I give them love, support, and ask them to appreciate this lesson that they're supposed to learn right now and discern that I am free from that journey. I am out of that algorithm. I'm out of that understanding. I am free from that. I am conscious. I'm cautious. I understand maybe I need to give myself a little more space between the car in front of me and not, especially at stoplights. And how can I be who I am in the middle of this? Now, when the second idea of Rex came in, and I drove by a car that basically the person was speeding and rammed into a back of a semi. And I saw that car, and it really got me that it's like, what dimension do I want to be in? What understanding do I want to be in? Because it was like, while we were in the traffic, I was driving up, we were listening to Enigma, a musical band, and we were talking about spiritual walk. And I kept my space between people. I was very conscious. Even though we were talking, I was very focused on driving. The word was focus. So I knew that I was going to be safe. And I tried to keep the safe. And I asked for a bubble around me with the angels. And then 3 days later, when my friend called me up and said I got in a car wreck, boy, that was a week of very much, yes, they weren't my stories, right? I wasn't the one in the wreck. I wasn't the one, thank the Lords around me, that I wasn't in that journey, but I was also part of it. So what was I supposed to understand off of that? What was I supposed to ease myself to understand? And like, I was driving down the road maybe a week before that I kept hitting yellow lights. So the yellow lights were telling me to be cautious, 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 conscious, conscious, cautious, conscious, right? Be prepared for where you're at. And so look at the world around you if you can. Be very obvious of what the conversations are, what the story is, who's going in this. Now, like right now, my cat has hit every corner of this bedroom or of this room, my spiritual room. It used to be my mom's bedroom. There again, I'm going through old stories, right? So going into this, so what is he trying to do? Well, he's trying to tell me, pay attention to the main corners of life, right? So he was in my financial corner, stirring that up, standing on my stones and all that kind of stuff, trying to get up to this window here. And then he was over in my helpful people corner, right? Or that's my knowledge corner, sorry, my knowledge corner. So he was in my knowledge corner, shaking that up so that I get better knowledge, maybe get myself focusing better. Now he's over in my prosperity, or my relationship corner. So how do we apply what we're learning? Well, maybe I need to really look at those parts of my life right now, because every session that I do, every show I do, he goes into those exact corners. Okay, he goes into those exact corners and he gets focused on things, right? So it's not necessarily that I don't need to have boundaries on him or life, right? We need to have boundaries on life. And but how can we be at peace with that story? How can we be at peace with the story? And he's a perfect example of how life will challenge us, right? He's a perfect example of how life can challenge us. And the windstorms, the snowstorms, the weather, we're in the midst of big earth changes. And I'm praying now every vision that comes forward has the ability of not coming true, of being free from coming true. And so with that I've been having these visions of the earth doing a lot of changing. And what do I do right away is that I really go in and I see that there's peace in the mountains, the volcanoes. I see peace in the oceans. I see more peacefulness in the story. And it's one of those things that we're Rocky, do not do that. Sorry, he was going to chew on my fairy lights. So, coming into this, what do we do about it? Now, do you just heard me about having boundaries? And, we can have boundaries with a lot of things. And if we choose to be in a place where there's the drama and the trauma, we're going to have more trauma. Okay? We're going to have more trauma. Do you want me to do something about it, little boy? Hmm? He's looking at me like, Mom, really? You're going to do something about it? So, when we're going to be someplace. Now, I live next to a river. So the chances of it flooding, especially if Mount Baker blows, it's going to be a major thing and I'm going to have to deal with what's in front of me. I'm also hearing, it's like, oh, okay, so like during COVID, I kept hearing buy toilet paper, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. And I did. And my husband was like going, why are you buying so much toilet paper? I don't know. I just went to the grocery store and bought one more. Whenever I went to do major shopping, I just bought one or two. 5, 6, 7, 8 months before the COVID rush hit. Guess what? I didn't have to buy toilet paper for months, right? Because I trusted the process of what I was hearing. And when we go into Rocky, please, boy, that when we go into how we are living, and like me, am I getting distracted by my cat? Yes. Am I staying focused on what I'm wanting to say to you? Yes. Am I in alignment with the universe trying to help me what I want to say with you and give guidance for you and showing you, because your truth is your truth, right? Your truth is your truth. But how do we discern our way through? And I'm hoping that I can give you some guidance in that. That, we can allow life to get at us. Or do we apply what we've learned about knowing this is how I'm not in the story. I'm not in that algorithm. I'm actually in the algorithm of peace, love, and tranquility. So it's kind of like in Pirates of the Caribbean, and one of the last movies where the guy is coming down the stairs and there's the ship is being exploded and he's just calm even though his life is going to end. Okay, but he is in integrity. He is in, and it's not denial. It's not about denial. It's about is this going to be bigger than me? Is this moment going to be bigger than me? Is this interaction going to be bigger than me? Now, I understand that, living with the people I have lived with, and negotiating through. I lived with two pessimists, as my kids were growing up. And, it wasn't always easy to not be in that negative. It wasn't always easy not, to be, but I can tell you the tools that I learned from going through that really helped me find a way to basically not engage with it. Like when my youngest would not write a sentence. He wouldn't write a sentence, was obstinate about, no, I don't want to write. No, I don't want to write. And I said, to her that it's like, all you have to do is write 3 words. And I even tried giving her the words, but what I ended up getting intuitively was, don't change your story. Don't change your face. Because the way that she was interacting with me wanted me to change, wanted to wear me down, wanted to, no, I want you to do it for me. Yes, I want you to give me the answers. Yes. So what I would do when she would be dilly-daddling, and this is a time when my husband was really drinking and really angry. So I tried to get a lot of those triggers done before he would come home from work. Didn't always happen the way I wanted it to, because there again, I didn't want the triggers in the house. Well, my youngest didn't really see that reasoning, and so would try manipulating. So what I would do is when she'd start throwing the pencil, I would pick the pencil up, put it on the paper, and just keep walking by. I would not change the person I was for her. I wouldn't start yelling at her. I wouldn't start, I would try to keep the same face on the whole time, right? It's not a persona thing. It's just I wanted to keep the same face on. So no matter what she was doing, I kept the same face on. I love you. Please get it done. I love you. It's only 5 words. I love you. Try to get it done. I want to cook dinner and dad's going to be coming home. And they always knew what when dad came home, what that meant. I didn't have to tell them. Okay. So going into this, see, and I was talking about that, and what was my back doing? I was starting to break out, right? So that's that gut thing. There's that gut thing I was talking about. That these old stories can trigger a lot of who we are today. Okay. And I'm hoping that my life can help your life. I've lived it. I understand a lot of things. Now, I have not, knock on wood, lived through a lot of major fires or floods or that kind of thing. I thank you, God, for helping me not be that way. But I've lived through a lot of other things. And and I glean myself off of, or I glean, it's like, what can I learn off of other people's stories? So coming into this, be more, if you can, at peace with your life. Because when we're fighting our life, when we're fighting what we're doing, when we're fighting the application, it's like a windstorm that comes through. It's like a fire that goes through. It's like I was talking to a student today, and she just was having one of those off days. There was something that she was worried about. There was something that was happening in her life, and it was just not easy. And she just was having a prickly day. And I was telling her, it's like, and we have this great relationship. She comes to me and just wants a hug sometimes. And her mom trusts me with her. Her mom works with me, and so her mom trusts me with her. And I was giving her some loving hug, and I go, "Are you a porcupine today?" She goes, "A porcupine?" I go, "Yeah, a porcupine." And you know those porcupines, when they get upset, their quills go right? And then other people that are around them, they get hurt, right? Because things just blurt out of our mouths. She goes, "Oh." And then I did it. I said, "See, it's kind of like when I'm kind of like," and she goes, "Oh, yeah. I guess I am being a porcupine, aren't I?" Because I just helped her negotiate her saying something to a friend, and then the friend kept poking at her, kept poking at her, kept poking at her. And I said, "You guys all need to stop, right? Keep poking because that's what they do is they keep poking. People who like to see people, okay, how do I word this? I want to stop myself. Not everybody wants peace and tranquility around us. Not everybody wants peace and tranquility around us. And so when we have people in our lives that want to be a little bit more upset, want to stir the pot, want to keep poking the bear, want to keep doing things, sometimes we just got to put our life around us and say, I'm done. I'm done. And walk away. Somebody needs to stop, right? And sometimes it's us. And sometimes it's always us, the ones that know. But what we can do, though, is really love, really understand that we all are going through something. My algorithm that I'm choosing to be in, even if I'm a porcupine, is to be loving porcupine with my quills down, right? Even if I am one that's in grief that day, I can be understanding. Like the other day, I had a misunderstanding with a coworker, and I was like curious about things, and I was trying to figure out why this was happening because she said something that I didn't quite understand where it came from. And then I really got through that email that I was making earlier that, oh, I was in fear and flight of abandonment or of being left alone or of not being part of the team. Because that's abandonment. That's the other side of it, right? Not being part of a team, not being part of a scenario. Because I'm the one that got left. So, understanding who we are and what we're doing, that's part of it. Now, I want people to understand we've been on a journey of healing for a very long time. We have been trying to fix things for a very long time. We have been self aware for a very long time. And it's okay if you stop for a while. It's okay if you just sit on the couch and play video games. It's okay if you stop and watch a movie. It's okay if you go dancing. It's okay if you go for a drive. It's okay if you go for a walk and just be. We don't always have to be fixing ourselves. But I'm going to tell you though, that if you go into observer mode of your life and you go in, what is this here to show me? The healing walk isn't always a healing walk. It's more like oh, okay, I get it now. And you move on. It's not a sitting in it. It's not sitting in that rabbit hole of the moments of where we are at. It's about going, okay, I get it. I'm sorry for the miscommunication. I've been me. Sorry that affected you the way it did. Right? We can't always be responsible, but we can be respectful. We can be honorable. We can be not the porcupine that other people want us to be. Right? So coming into this, I'm hoping this has helped. If you can make a comment maybe on how this is affecting you, if I'm giving you enough tools to negotiate through, how do you get on a better algorithm? Half of it is how you're perceiving your life. If you're perceiving your life more in a negative, you're going to be on the negative algorithm. If you're thinking of your life more as a neutrality and an understanding of opportunities and the wisdom that's coming to you, we can be on a pretty good algorithm. And, you know, that algorithm can really help us get through these really hard times. Because life is about having things happen, right? That things are happening. Things are going to happen. And I'm praying what I have seen lately for this next year, that in the end, it's not going to, we're free from this journey because I'm asking for healing on this Mother Earth, please, right? But what we can do is really be prepared for plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. And right now, I think it's a great time for Mikkel to come through and give us an idea on what we're looking at here, because he can give an overview of what's happening. He can give an understanding of this. And, the matrix system, oh my gosh, time, has anybody noticed time is changing? It's amazing. You think that you have a week to do something and it's tomorrow. Or you think that something's happening here and happening there and it was yesterday. Time is changing. It's amazing how life is happening. And this is what we're working into. This new earth abilities is, the matrix is coming, the understanding is right here, the different dimensions are right here, and we can choose what dimension we want to be in. Yes, the 3D world's going to happen, like the car wrecks on the freeway. Wasn't my story. I made sure it wasn't, because I did not pull that to me. I was free from pulling that to me because I was conscious and cautious, right? And at the same time, I'm feeling a new car's coming my way, and I really wanted to make sure I was free from the journey of getting the struggle of that new car that way. So, if you can, now I'm going to be channeling Mikkel here. We've got about 20 minutes left in the show. I'm hoping that I can pull some oracle cards at the end here. And you know how busy they've been for. It's been funny to watch. So give me a minute here. Now, remembering, when I channel, this is something that I'm a free channel. I'm not, I'm still here a little bit. So if things don't all feel like it's the one I'm channeling, then tell him hello. Thank you. Yeah, that that it's the words. Listen to the words that are being said more than, because I'm channeling a message now too. So it's not like, it's not like there's a big difference. But at the same time, though, he's been pretty interactive with that. Hello, Patty. Oh, yay, you made it here. My goodness. You're a goodness, are right on with the earth moments. Yes, thank you. Things are happening, and it's, I'm just praying that the earth, that us humans can do the work, so that the earth doesn't have to help us do the work, and that the powers that be in the human form do not help more with that. Okay, so enough with that. I don't want to keep distracting myself here. So I'm going to give Mikkel a moment. He's been here, but I'm giving a moment for him to get more in alignment with me. Hello, lovelies. You have been busy, haven't you? You have been so in alignment to this new earth coming in, and you have been so a month of coming forward in your life. So if you can, be at peace with who you are. Be at peace with what is going on with you. There is a lot of things that are changing up. Now, remembering change is not easy, especially when you do not know the outcome. And that is the interesting thing about change, is we never know the outcome, do we? On any dimension, any world, any understanding that we walk in, drive in, fly in, that we are all in the middle of not sure how it's going to be. Now, think about this. When you are driving from your home to a certain place, let's say the store. If you are driving from your home to a store, you know the destination is from here to there. Do you know what's going to happen in between? Not always. And that is the surprising thing, is that you don't always know what the universe is going to bring to you to show you that you are stronger than you are, or you think you are, right? We are coming into the biggest shift of the planet in the next 3 years. You will not really necessarily recognize this earth form in the next 3 years. Isn't that a miracle to hear? Yes, there are things that are going to break away. There is going to be some things that are staying. We are all in the midst of watching and being here helping you. So remember that things can change even when they're forecast to happen. Do you understand that? Even if something is forecast to happen, it does not always need to happen. There's enough healers on this planet. Yes, billions of you on this planet that are healers that can actually do the work of understanding that there does not need to be the drama of the earth doing the changes. Now, what we need to do is talk to the people who are in charge that they are no longer in charge of manipulation of life. We are working and talking with these beings about this. It is not always the blessings that you would want to happen in the timing that you want to happen. But there is an opportunity for healing to happen here. So come forward in who you are. Understand you are here in this understanding. Think of safety, you will have safety. Think of blessings, you will have more blessings. Think of security, you will have security. Think of health, you will have more health. This dear one's body is going through a big shift up, and this is the outcome of the look. Does she sit in the negative of what is happening? Yes, when the body gets itchy, it is a little bit of a work, but she doesn't stay in trauma and the drama of it, or the negative of what is happening to me. She is understanding that there is a process of what is going forward in the enlightenment. The shift up, we will call it, and the gut needs to be in alignment for this shift. The body is going to be a big piece of this understanding. You have your body, Mother Earth has her body, right? So if you can, remember that align yourself with a healthier body. There's a much of the truths that are being shooken up in the government of the US here. The other countries around you have, and the European countries and other, have been secretly too, but not as much. They have not been so manipulative as the US has. And isn't that a shame? That the US here has been the keystone of manipulation. Now, there's other countries that have had other types of manipulation, but that we are going to stay in this story because right now the US is the focus of the world. The world is uncertain on let me find the words that I'm allowed to say here. There has been a standing that the US has had where where you have had the strength of understanding. Now, as the pillars and the uh, when someone stands on top of a pillar and you are being looked at, sometimes when you fall off that pillar, there is a disharmony that happens. So remembering through this coming down moment that egos will be trying to rise up. So when you are in the rising up of stories and the rising up of understandings, remembering that staying in that negative mindset will keep the mindset of negativity flowing. It's okay, like this dear one said earlier, we reminded her to say this, that we do not have to worry about the emotions of this because you are going to feel them. They are going to arise anyways. No matter what you do, you cannot stop emotions. That is the physical body of this humanness dance that you are going forward in. So come into this with understanding that when you are feeling the hurt, the pain, the uncertainty, the fear, the wonderment, which is not a good wonderment right now, that when you are in wonderment, that they in charge will not always stay in charge the way that they are. So allow your emotions to be felt, but please do not stay there. As we go forward, we are doing the work to do the work. It is time for those to make the change where they can make the change, and that is you personally. You personally can feel the change to make. So it's time for you to make it. And remember that there's always an opportunity for something to move in a different enlightenment. It takes a mindset of self to shift that perception. So, if you can, my dear friends and families, and thank you, Paula, thank you for all that you are doing in everything that you are doing. I am so grateful for all of you that you are here to hear because we are in the midst of big shifts and changes through this story. I have been a little bit wanting to talk about certain things, and then I had to stop because I was not allowed to say more. So I apologize if I was going down a certain statement and I stopped. We are in the midst of doing a lot of things in the back side of understandings, and we are not allowed to speak of much of that. It is a big time to trust, my friends, a big time to trust and understand that everything is here for you. You calling in the being that you are wanting to be will help. And remember, if it does not arise for you, there is someone or something in you that is not allowing it to move smoothly. So if you can think about what is in that story coming forward for you. And it is very interesting what you may find. Like this dear one found abandonment, right? What would abandonment mean about doing what she was doing? But it's interesting when you cannot feel success, how abandonment keeps showing up. It's a polar opposite. So come into where she is done being abandoned, and that allows things to move forward. Does that make sense? And I pray that you are all in the midst of going through what you're going through, that there is this breakthroughs of less punishment for what you think you should have. The breakthroughs are going to be amazing and a gift if you choose to perceive them that way. I understand that you on this planet are so very tired. You have gone through so much. Life has not stopped moving forward, and there seems to be a hill in front of you all the time. It's okay to stop on the hill and rest and look at the view of how far you've come. Be ready for your life to change for the better. And I will leave you with that, my friends. Thank you very much for being here. I say hi to all of you who have shown your loving support to everyone in this room and everyone outside of this room. You have made a difference on this planet. Thank you for being you. I stole that from this one. Blessings, my dear fans. So be. Wow. Room's always brighter when I come in. Whew. So thank you for being here, everyone. Boy, got 5 minutes left. So, boy, I really felt him wanting to say things. I really felt him wanting to move forward. But it was like he was going here, 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 here. And it was interesting because I'm really getting, this is my feeling when he was channeling through me, was that there's so much change that's going to be coming forward soon that he couldn't speak of it because he didn't want to sabotage it. And so he'd start saying something and then it would be like, can't say that because I don't want that moment to be in cement. It needs to be movable. And a lot of times when we speak of something, it stops it from being movable. It stops it from being applicable, right? So may blessings be with you. I'm going to pull, let's see, I can go over by a few minutes here. So if you don't mind going over, I can pull some oracle cards. I'm just going to do the Wisdom of the Avalon. These cards have been very active lately. Let me make sure they're all going the same direction because these cards have been walking with me. Yep, they are. Paula, thank you. And he was saying hi to you. I hope that you heard that, but then he got distracted off into saying something else. Okay, so Paula. Okay. Oh, Veronica. Okay, so Paula, let's do you first since I was I read yours first, and then Veronica. And I will. Hi, Kim. Okay, so this is for Paula. Okay. So Paula, this is a card for Paula. This one here wants to come out. Mystery. A mystery card, okay? And that card is a 52, which is a 7. So look up the number 7. Mystery. Mystery. You've been in a mystery of your life. You've been in a mystery of where things are going. You're in a mystery of what to do next. Keep walking forward. Keep doing what's your, it seems like a lot of people feel like they've been wanting to go that way. And then they decided, wait a minute, that's not really what I wanted to do. Right. And it's okay to push that reset button. It's okay to go the other direction. Let's get some clarity on that for you. Clarity on the mystery. Yeah. Partnership. So the partnership card was upside down. So have you found your way of becoming more partners with the neighbors around you, with the community around you, with the understanding? And the wind has been really strong here today. So there's something about the winds of change coming through for you because that tapped in right now. And the partnership is a 5 card. So 7 and the number 5 for you. And let's get a little bit more clarity on that. Wasn't going to do this. This is not. Okay, and then this is the last one. Okay. Two more. Cat. Cat's huge for you. And movement. So you have the movement. And through my show, I've had my Tabby running around. I've seen her. And so the feral cat. And so, trust your instincts as you're getting the movement. So cat is about movement. They're willing to jump. They're willing to go. So the mystery has been, where have you been? But you need to have the partnership, which was upside down, to be able to have the movement with cat's help of instincts. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Boy, the energies are really wonky today. And it's hard to get a clear message. Okay, so clear message. The card love was left off. So that wanted to be a part of it too. So come back to love, my dear. Come back to that loving understanding. Come back to who you are, which is divine love. Come back to love. Love yourself, love for others. Okay? Okay, so Veronica, let's see here. Hi, Jessica. You'd like one too? Joy. Veronica, you're going to be having more joy in your life. I feel like there's a breakthrough coming on. We have a session on Friday, so I'll talk more about it, but I feel like there's a breakthrough coming for you. Joy. You're finding more joy. Because you're a butterfly in the midst of a transformation, you're coming out of the cocoon time and into the butterfly moment. This is the springtime for you. So what movement can you do? What things can you stretch out of your comfort zone and into the new? But it takes the focus of, what are you focusing on? What algorithm do you want to be in? What knowings do you want to be in? So focus. So joyfulness is what's coming to you as you're transforming into your new knowings and understanding, but focus on what you want. Focus what algorithm you want to be in. It's not work, but it's just like, there's trauma around me. I'm not choosing to be in this. It's just that light choice, if that makes any sense. Okay. And we'll talk more on Friday. Okay, Kim, this one's for you. Okay, for Kim. Woo! Dog came out. So you've been very loyal to a lot of things. You've been very loyal to very much understandings. You've been very loyal to other people. You've been very loyal to doing work with other people. It's time for you to be loyal to yourself too. I know that my dog, we've actually gone back to making food for her because, as she said, the kibble was evil. The kibble was evil. So be careful about what you're eating, because that just popped in for me too. Let's get some clarity on that for you. The dog. Why is the dog about loyalty? What can we get some clarity on this? You're more than welcome, Paula and Veronica. Let's see. This is for Kim. Woo! Frog, environment. Yep, environment. Be careful about your environment. What are you doing? Who are you around? Sometimes you have to be around people that we don't always want to be involved with, but there's something about your environment. It's not about too clean. It's about I feel like it's almost vibrational. So like what TV shows, what music, what is the thing that you're hearing that needs to be a little bit more in vibration of where you're at? Sometimes peacefulness. Sometimes it's a shower running. Sometimes it's whatever it is. Find that part of you that can be in alignment to your environment. Because dog, about the loyalty, and then the environment. Let's see, bottom card, because it's about letting go, right? It's about letting go. So the frog number was 14, so that's a 5. Dog is 19, which is a 1 plus 9 is a 10, which is 1, or 19 is 20, it's a 2, and then letting go is a 44, so 8, the infinity sign, right? So talk about releasing a lot of that gut stuff. I can understand that statement. Okay, so Jessica. Okay, so Jessica, let's get you going, and then okay, let's see. Woo! Dog again. So you're getting dog. Jessica, this one means I'm getting for you with dog. It's about the shedding. What are you needing to shed? What is it that, like golden retrievers, they're a shedder community. Dogs always shed the spring and the fall. So what in the spring can you shed that you're loyal to? Okay, those old patterns. Let's see what else. Let's get some clarity on that for you. The wind fairy. The wind fairy is coming up for you. So let the winds of change. It's like those vacuum cleaners that you can blow off the dogs. Let the winds of change help you move through the stories that you're telling yourself, the bard, the stories that you're telling yourself, your stories that you're telling outside, right? Because the transformation is coming your way. Okay, so we got to be really careful what we're saying to ourselves. Like me, my body has been telling me how to heal itself by how it's been breaking out in hives, right? So what are we telling ourselves? Excellent. Thank you so much, Natasha. You're more than welcome. I hope that helps everyone. And remembering that we're all going through a lot of changes. So if you need to rest a little bit, sit in the car for a few minutes. Like the other day, it was so cold here, but the sun was so warm. It would have been a perfect day to sit in the sun and be warm. And take those times that you can for yourself and be at peace. Make sure you take your good B vitamins, your good D, your vitamin D's. Make sure you take some good zinc. Oh my gosh, the cold, that influenza stuff that's going around right now. Take the zinc. I'm doubling and tripling up on my vitamin C's because my tissue. C is about tissues. The vessels and the tissues of the body. And so take a lot of that kind of stuff to help yourself be better. It does make a difference. Sometimes I don't feel as tired as I could have been. Okay. So I'm Natasha Venter, intuitiveclarifications.com. If you're looking for some sense in your life with intuitive help, Regan Forston was supposed to be on today. He will be on next week. He was really busy down in LA. Please please follow, please share if somebody could use this conversation, because it really is going to make a difference if we choose to be on a enlightened algorithm. It can really do it. It's like, don't spend too much time on that one video that's all negative, right? Get in, and then that pulls more negative videos. Stay in the more enlightened side. Life is here. Life is going to be changing. Life is not going to be easy. Stand up when you need to stand up for change. I'm doing that myself in my union. I'm standing up where I could. I could have done this a long time ago. I'm doing it today. It's time. Stand up where you can to have a voice for what you need to have changed, even if it is just in your community. I'm Natasha Venter, intuitiveclarifications.com. Blessings to all. May you find blessings, and I'm here to support you in your life's journey, bringing light and love to this world. Bye now. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you.